Okay, how's it going? So I'm here in my rumpus room today. You can see got some dress ups, telly, your classic basement room. And I want to make some DIY recycled seedling raising pots. Basically, I've been trying to plant a lot of flowers. We're redoing our garden right now, and we don't want to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on landscaping plants if we can try and grow them from seed, which is much cheaper, obviously. A packet of seeds costs like $3 to $10 depending on how many there are in there and how rare the plant is. Whereas even small tube stock plants can cost $15 a pop. And then, when you start to get into properly big plants, like, it gets really pricey really quick. And we have quite a bit of land, and we're just trying to do it for as cheap as possible. So in saying that, I have been trying to do some seed raising, but I really didn't want to buy hundreds of plastic pots. Bringing more plastic in just doesn't feel right to me. I look at it and I can't do it. I can't buy the pots. I know how they break down. I know that they are pretty flimsy, even if you get to use them a couple of times in a row. You can reuse them, but that doesn't mean that they're not still plastic and they're going to become microplastic and they're going to get into the environment. They're going to be a problem for thousands of years. So I just don't want to buy any plastic pots. I think, everyone can understand that. So what I've been using is these. These are seed raising trays. I've been using a couple of different varieties. I was trying to figure out what the best variety to use is and what's most cost effective. So I did a couple of experiments with individual circular planters. I have some here that my camera is actually sitting on. So these are pretty good. You get 95 for $18. So it's still pretty pricey in my opinion, but 95 is pretty good. And then this one's 50 for $8. And that's Australian dollars as well. So it's not terrible, but it's not as cheap as I'd like, especially when I'm trying to do heaps of seeds. If you think about each packet of seeds contains 50 to 200 seeds, this is not lasting me very long. 50 pots sounds like a lot, but it's actually nothing. I go through it so quickly. So I needed to figure out a better way to raise these seeds that isn't going to cost me so much. So basically, I was looking it up on YouTube, and none other than the beautiful Gardening Australia told me how to do it. I'll link their video below. But basically, it was really simple. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the tutorial on ABC Gardening Australia's channel said that we need newspaper, a cup, and a stapler, which is pretty good. Like, these are some pretty easy ingredients and very cheap ingredients. So you can basically make one out of each sheet. So I haven't made one yet. I wanted to make sure that I showed you each step of the process. So I have some different sized cups because the cup that the lady uses in the tutorial is very long and thin. I didn't have an exact cup, so I wanted to do a couple of different ones to show you if it works, if it doesn't work. This is classic IKEA. Pretty sure this one's IKEA. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, a lot of them are IKEA, so they're pretty widely available or normal, or a lot of people would have them. So the first thing you do is you take your piece of newspaper and you fold it lengthways. So, oh gosh. So you fold it. I've already folded this one once. And just a couple of times. And this is going to make the height of your pot. So however, oh look, there's Bernie. You can read about the news while you're making your pots as well. So this is how high your pot's going to be. It's actually going to be a little bit shorter as well. I'll show you that in a minute. So actually, I need to rethink this. I'm just going to fold it in thirds. And you don't have to worry about thickness too much at this stage. And you'll see why in a minute. So next I'm gonna take one of these cups that I just have pulled out of my shelf, and we're gonna roll it onto the top of the cup. So if you see, like, I'm gonna roll it on the top of the cup like this. I'm gonna use the side with the fold in it. I'm gonna keep that on the inside so that it's harder for it to unravel. So I'm gonna roll this around. And she also mentioned, don't do it too tight. All right, so that's step one. This is what we have. The cup is inside, right? That's where the cup starts. Looks like this. Next, we kind of fold this like that on the inside. Scrunch it in like this. So it looks like that. Next, take the cup out. And that's why you don't want to roll it too tight, because you want to be able to get the cup out. Okay, the next step is we're going to staple this here. And because the staples are metal, they're actually biodegradable and they will decompose into the soil. Now, finally, you want to use the other end of your cup, the base, to squish down the inside. And you should have like a little hole. I think my hole's probably a bit big, and that'll help with drainage. So I think this cup is actually a really good size for this. It's a pretty normal size. So I'm gonna try it with a few different cups, probably time lapse it, and then I'll come back to you. Alright, so I just did the smallest cup, the biggest cup, and obviously I started off with this one. The other two are pretty much the same size, so I think they'll be about the same as the first one. The big cup did not work super well. I would say that there wasn't enough paper at the bottom to keep the structure of a cylinder in place. The folding didn't work properly. Like you can see, it just really wants to come apart. It's not quite right. And the smallest one kept its shape much better, but there was so much paper at the bottom that it squished into kind of a semicircle. Can you see that? It's too, like, there's just too much volume there and it won't become flat. So I think that we actually nailed it with the first one. Like, look how good this is. I don't think I appreciated how good this one was until I tried the other two. I'm gonna keep going with these ones, and I'm gonna make as many as I can be bothered, and then I think we'll start planting. We'll figure out some seeds to plant. Cool. I mean, it really is testament to how long I've been doing this, if this is what's exciting to me at this point. But I got this one and it's like totally purple, so that's fun. And I got this one which has Trump's face on it, which it's gonna be full of cow manure soon, so it's pretty accurate. Anyway, I'm gonna go reassess my life, make this last one, and then it's gonna be potting time. Okay, so we've got our pots and we've got our seed raising mix. This is the one that I use, but you can also use peat stuff, which is actually really good. You buy it in a brick and then you just add water. It's basically coconut husks and it keeps the moisture really well for seedlings. It's super easy. You know how to do this, okay? We take a pot, take a tiny trowel, that's optional of course, but it's recommended. I'm outside, so it's a bit embarrassing. Fill up. Check to see if your neighbors are judging you. Mine are, for sure. Right? You can leave about this much. You don't want to film too full, you're going to run out of soil too quickly. Maybe a little bit more. Then what we're going to do is create a small hole. I usually go up to the nail of my pinky, but you really want it 1 to 1.5 centimeters, no bigger. If you bury the seed too deep, then it won't be able to germinate. And then, depending on the germination rate of your seedlings, you want to place 2 to 4 seedlings in each pot. So if the germination rate is low, maybe 60%, you definitely want to put closer to 4 seeds per pot. This germination rate is pretty good, it's 85%, so I'm just going to put 2 seedlings per pot. And then once the seedlings germinate and they start to grow, you can take the strongest seedling and use that one. Or they can separate into 2 different plants and you can plant them both. So these are purple coneflowers, and I'm going to be planting them in my garden. The reason I've chosen coneflowers is because they are really good for bees and attracting bees, especially native bees. So that's why we want to be putting them in our garden. Pop 2 seeds in there, cover it up, and give it a water. These pots really need to be in trays. They're a bit delicate, and I would worry that this would easily get knocked over by if you have a dog, possums, rats and mice that live around. Even birds can knock these over. So I would definitely recommend stacking them as close as you can in a tray like this. I have a couple of seed raising trays here, there's 2 there, and then I also have this box, which works just as well. Cardboard box is really good. So you don't have to have seed raising equipment to do this project, is what I'm trying to say. You can use a cardboard box. Finally, you got a label. This is something that I'm really bad at, but once you've got heaps of seedlings in your backyard, my sister said, hi Zoom. Once you've got lots of seedlings in your backyard, you really want to be labeling them individually, because all the pots look the same until they start to grow. Once they do start to grow, you're going to have no idea what the heck that is. Unless it's like a purple coneflower, where it will be a purple coneflower. But it's a really good idea to label them beforehand, because different plants need different conditions. So that being said, I'm going to make sure I label these. I've just got a Sharpie and a powder pop stick works really well. I've got normal ones and I got magnums. So, you know, whatever kind of ice cream you're eating, it's no worries. So finally, we just want to make sure that these seeds all have a really good drink. Don't be afraid to really get in there with the water. These seeds need to be pretty much kept moist for the time until they germinate. So these guys really are going to need a lot of water at the moment. Think of them like babies, you know, they need a lot of attention, but it's worth it, because once they become plants, they're going to be, you know, much hardier, obviously, but they're going to be able to take care of themselves. And this really is a super cheap way to do up your garden. I also really want to show you my first sprouts are coming through. There's a bit of cut grass on here from when I was cutting the grass, but you can see right in there, these guys are starting to come out of the soil. Hopefully this is a good angle, I can't see, but thanks for watching, and hope that you learned how you can make your own DIY pots quickly and easily with newspaper, a stapler, and a cup. So, thanks.